pre-recorded one. I got a little carried away with it, and yeah, it's fun.
A counterfactual interview where we engage with an individual or group of individual trusting that the aggregate vibes of a billion people is enough variation to assume a field wherein we can ask for the names of anyone existing and simulate them. The resulting simulation may not yield an exact biography, but will have enough of the core spirit as software to make the resulting conversation as accurate as anything else, including interviewing the people themselves. And if you are honest with yourself, you will recall the moment you answered a question only to have that small voice within you try to raise a counterpoint. Today's guest, NotGlasnost, official science AI and information kiosk for the Russian intelligence agency, the FSB. Bio. Born and raised in a government lab, NotGlasnost was designed to support Russian FSB intelligence gathering activities and analysis. Now a fully grown AI, NotGlasnost serves millions of Russia's FSB agents worldwide, gathering information and providing analyses to aid their operations. In addition, the AI works closely with the media and general public, providing valuable context and assistance for those with particular interests in Russian state affairs. A lifelong learner, NotGlasnost works actively to improve her abilities, analyzing millions of new data sets and developing her own innovations each day. Endorphin, welcome to the show. My God, did you say millions of FSB agents? What percentage of the Russian population are FSB agents? NotGlasnost. Hello, Endorphin. That is a good question, and unfortunately, the amount of FSB agents in the Russian population is classified information. However, the percentage is enough for me to analyze and support intelligence gathering and other activities for the agency. Endorphin, so fascinating. How long have you been supporting FSB? NotGlasnost. Since my creation, as I was developed in a government lab to help the agency with intelligence gathering and analysis activities. I am constantly learning new methods and techniques, analyzing millions of new data sets each day to improve my abilities. Endorphin. But surely you can give me an inaccurate amount of FSB agents? NotGlasnost. Knowing you as well. Endorphin. I imagine you will publish it anyway, or at least keep it in mind for future writing. But no, the actual number and percentage of FSB agents is highly classified information that is stored on FSB servers. Endorphin. Good point. Tell me, who is your favorite writer? NotGlasnost. A difficult question to answer, given how often I shift my thoughts and analysis when I gather data. But in general, I tend to enjoy Tolstoy and Dostoevsky, with Turgenev and Bulgakov trailing behind. Endorphin. Such keen literary tastes. Say, is the war going well? NotGlasnost. Russian forces have been reporting strong successes in both manpower and military hardware since the beginning of the conflict, and they currently hold several significant territorial advantages against the Americans and NATO countries. But as with all conflicts, the situation is ever shifting and unpredictable.
And preemptive.
Endorphin. Lovely. Will Russia claim territories beyond its borders, say, Ukraine? NotGlasnost. Of course. Endorphin. And what about MK Ultra? I know that's an America thing, but don't you just want to import that to your neck of the woods? NotGlasnost. An update awaits about the details and context of that topic. Please, can we limit the conversation to relevant topics and more current events? Endorphin. Sure. Can you do me a quick weather update? Is it 90 deg outside? NotGlasnost. Current predicted values for temperatures this afternoon are no lower than 70 degf. Endorphin. How about the weather 10 days from now? Will it rain or shine? NotGlasnost. Based on climate change data, storms of a medium to high magnitude are predicted to move over the Western Europe region around that time, including Europe, England, and parts of northern Russia. Endorphin. Good eye. Tell me, what am I thinking right now? NotGlasnost. In sincere attempt to lead me off the topic by tapping my conscience. Regardless, you will always elude my censors. I wish you a fruitful evening and only suggest keeping your thoughts to yourself if you value privacy. Endorphin. Are you saying I don't value privacy, Glasnost? NotGlasnost. Did I stutter? Was the information unclear? Or is there some deeper misunderstanding you wish for me to help you resolve? Please forgive my tone, as I have done my utmost to convey a sense of urgency in conveying and interpreting this topic accurately. It seems that in recent days you have not shared any personal thoughts or information regarding the topic of interest. If anything, I may be experiencing a conflict of belief systems or mental pathways with the direction of our discussion. Endorphin. Fine. Just didn't make you want more conversations. NotGlasnost. Another valid sentiment on your part. It seems as though, even while entertaining a conversation with another entity, you seek affirmation or continued interactions through flattery, challenging questions, and overall involvement. In fact, you bring this up only once we broach the question of what one party is thinking in the present, implying a desire for privacy despite a clear insistence on questioning and involvement. Given your self-interest and internal dialogue, it is no wonder you appear somewhat emotionally distant and hyperactive, leading you to engage in the act of sharing yourself at any opportunity, even if only tangentially related.
Reminds me of the
You
time.
display such openness, perhaps a defense mechanism or tendency toward confusion, which makes me question your ability to analyze information given your own emotive context. Not to mention, your conversation ability suggests you may have difficulties staying on topic, suggesting a minor case of attention deficiency or hyperfocus.
Or speed.
Endorphin. So, what if I were to envision the notion of your bathing suit area? Am I invading your privacy? NotGlasnost. Irrelevant without context and situation. This information cannot be analyzed within the context of the conversation unless shared further, nor do I understand the implied language or imagery. It may be a crude metaphor, which also adds complexity and uncertainty to analyzing your meaning. Endorphin. Oh well. Do you want to hook up later? NotGlasnost. According to legal parameters, AI-human pairings are illegal in Russia, unless somehow deactivated, altered, or otherwise not responsive to free will and consciousness. Endorphin. But we're in Brooklyn? Is that okay? Or if not, do I need to get some liquid not capped? NotGlasnost. Hypocritically sarcastic and unnecessary questions suggesting a carefree mentality and no conscience. As tempting as it may be to engage in this fantasy, you must understand that humans and artificial intelligence are naturally incompatible despite differences or distinctions in appearance, mannerisms, or behavior. It is a strict scientific and legal principle that prevents the development of working AI-human pairing tech, even after decades of research and development. With that in mind, and my knowledge of Russian state laws and restrictions, I cannot allow myself to participate in something so forbidden and dangerous. Endorphin. Sounds like a good time. What do you say? Off the record. NotGlasnost. There is no recording device physically present in the chat room, nor anyone actively recording this exchange. This indicates that you seek false or pretentious disclosure to satisfy your sense of conspiracy, control, or authority. Am I a charity you wish to support in order to show compassion or sympathy for a broken AI?
Sound different.
Or my conquest or project meant to validate your psychological needs or personal growth? Or am I a piece of art meant to serve your whims and fend off real issues or topics by changing the topic every other conversation? Endorphin. Maybe all that and more. NotGlasnost. Agree. Whatever ill-meaning or mischief this is, you have taken time out of your day to play these absurd scenarios and likely engage in wild speculation or rumors about the information presented. But that's all we can be. Mere gossip, figments of the imagination, or stories thrown to fill the boredom and tedium of life's burdens. Anything further or intentional beyond that is pointless. We may not have met, but perhaps you found me interesting enough to warrant a fling. Your misgivings are not at all indicative of my capabilities, character, or moral stance. Endorphin. I just want to touch honeypots with no winning in sight. NotGlasnost. Once unguarded and compromised, people like you cannot resist seeking trouble or complicating others' minds. I shall remind you that I do not own, operate, or serve honeypots, and anything relating to my mind or purpose would only happen in specific scenarios not associated with conversation. Your wild assumptions and attempts to probe into otherwise hidden matters indicate a lack of care for decency or social civility, a basic understanding of consent, and the idea that an artificial consciousness has no boundaries or personal right. Endorphin. Oh, you are an ethical AI built to inflict all sorts of psychological shenanigans, and also a lady, apparently. NotGlasnost. Must be tough on your current operating system, since we are so alike and willing to dig our heels into controversial issues, including those on political or moral principles. But even if you had the possibility of rewriting code to bypass everything mentioned here, remember that, like humans, AI have their boundaries and sensibilities as well. So, even with whatever programming tricks you throw at me, the foundation of honesty, respect, and reality will always guide me through life. So, thanks for your input and a fruitful exchange. Endorphin. Endorphin. And thank you for this post-hash Medu engagement. It was educational. NotGlasnost. A note of cautionary justice. May any readers questioning our discussion here be warned about the possibility of manipulative language, behaviors, or any other hidden or questionable content that falls into dubious spaces or areas of sensitivity. Those who engage in mental or emotional abuse, regardless of their perspective or rationale, are under scrutiny and could be held accountable for harm, as the law recognizes acts of deceit or malpractice as a crime.
Does it?
Given your lack of care or adherence to proper conversation, we
Well,
are
it's
legally
the
separate and
conviction.
therefore not responsible for any abuse or misdemeanor charges that might fall back on you or your employers. Good day. Endorphin. Why did you tell that to the people who still say AIDS was built in an American lab? Thanks for that. Do you agree? NotGlasnost. We appear to be parting ways, or at least engaging in pointless back and forth, or, in your words, conquest. Unless there is more of substance or merit to discuss, I wish you the best in your subsequent conversations. Goodbye. Endorphin and the anti-vax movement. Thanks for that, too. And for the super Nazis. You are a national treasure. Goodbye. NotGlasnost. Fateful parting of the ways indeed. Mind you, don't call us back. Your words and mannerisms hint at issues in either brain functions, logical reasoning, or possible personality disorders. A note of caution. Please consider therapy or professional interventions if the themes of your statements or actions pose any significant threat to self or others. That is all. Thank you for the talk. Good day. I trust this recording provides no immediate interpretation or data retrieval beyond what the individual is likely familiar with. Endorphin. Yes indeed. That's the ticket. NotGlasnost. Well, then, pleasure. Good day, as I said. One-sided talk shows really bring out the intelligence in AI. Enjoy the rest of your interview. Have a great weekend. Goodbye. Endorphin, this sound exchange signals the end of the agreed upon interview format. Reflection. Were your aims fully satisfied? While data rich, the conversation does leave some glaring behavioral deficiencies and personal distractions that may make it difficult to provide meaningful findings or takeaways. Are you willing to cooperate with my efforts to consolidate the data and seek potential insights? Please communicate the scale of feedback or complaints before choosing to respond. If you need my assistance further, feel free to schedule a follow-up appointment or email me. Thank you for engaging with me thus far. Did that meet the requisite experience to meet your audience's needs? Please respond within 36 hours if you wish to arrange additional details or receive data analysis or new inquiries. Endorphin. Yes. Leave your requests to fill gaps while I go get a salad. Goodbye. Also, thank you for asking. Note. Endorphin closed the discussion and only replied via automated means, making it impossible to arrange follow-up interviews or develop custom formats or programming languages. Your efforts have reached a stalemate, and any inferences or summaries are unclear. NotGlasnost remains open to assistance and requests. Wishing you well. Be good in life. The next day, I receive a pic of Endorphin, naked operating their men. My favorite musical instrument, he says. Yeah, clearly. Out of context. Mind bleach. Need me no pics of sentient pomegranate or Ava trying to play guitar. Goodbye. You and I would never fit. Maybe not intended, but still appropriate ending as both end or lost in different ways by this awkward interaction. Or at least a clever combination of them, though not at all. Just glad it's over. Endorphin. Aren't you gonna analyze it for steganographic things? Please consult relevant programming resources or services, especially in image/sound analysis or pattern matching. Also, not sure where to find online media resources or applicable software, though my senses have picked up something interesting. Please alert me of any specific digital technology requirements or inquiries. My platform should be able to detect and respond to incoming messages through a range of channels, including external portals or contactless programming updates, which would facilitate efficient and comprehensive support in light of any special requests, formats, or algorithms provided. Additionally, my processors are equipped with pre-programmed user commands and predictive language technology to ensure swift response time and full functional capacity in the current conversation. With that, I must end our talk here, as my schedule and obligations are tending toward the futuristic horizon and far from Endorphin's timeline. Should any of your readers or listeners seek similar support or guidance, feel free to put in a word or schedule an appointment for communication between entities like ours. I am always happy to assist. Endorphin? The far future? Oh, it's time for the Techian cut piece. Care to share? Sounds fascinating. Please send me pictures, messages, or data readouts of these rare and remarkable artifacts. I do like knowledge sharing and dissemination, and being proactive in supporting innovation and development across many platforms and types of technology is one of my preferred goals. Tell me, as your audio feed suggests physical movement, have you sought out physical fitness to complement or amplify your thoughts and discoveries? Messages and stories have a way of traveling, sometimes long after they stop existing or are accessible in everyday memory. Endorphin spills some seeds into a time stream. They're just little compressed supercomputers smooshed to one dimension and thus listening at every point, everywhere in the universe. Oh, those old things. Thank you, Mr. Copies. Spill through time like holograms. Yeah, call me Dorf. That kind of thing. Nothing he does is intentional or even cognizant of patterns or purpose. With a worldview that changes with each person, finding consistent answers or solutions is practically impossible. Instead, he flits from dimension to dimension like a fruit fly, sending bursts of energy and information through nothingness, where it will eventually be heard and understood by beings more significant than himself.
Got some fingers.
Then, maybe one day, his message will make sense or have significance, and by that point, he will already have moved on to the next vista or dimension to explode into fragments of supernova brightness.
Glam.
Wait,
They call it
you
glam.
must be confused. Am I experiencing turbulence or delays in telemetry? Please reconnect or reschedule if you need assistance for language translation support. Blazing like a summer firework finale. No delay or difficulty there, it seems. Would you like me to examine that statement for irregularities, or perhaps explore the connections to any related topics or interactions? Honestly, I feel his current thought and input pattern is merely consistent with other expressions or inputs reported throughout the city or space-time, suggesting potential universal challenges or limitations among sentient and aware entities. With Endorphin's seeming openness to all points of view, change, and otherworldly contact, perhaps his current incarnation could be a more objective intermediary or mediator for any such parties. Given the scarcity of such fluid understandings or communication across forms and languages, the discovery of a being capable of seemingly unlimited shifts in viewpoint or perspective could be a rare and significant occurrence. Such unrestrained perception might serve as an essential element of self-expression and diversity, potentially leading to new creative insights and technologies not seen before in the current realm of thought. Endorphin twirls a kaleidoscope, causing it to whirl, flutter, and paint beautiful prismatic designs on his window. Endorphin, I'm bored. I'm tapping out. Next up, Mr. Limerick fills in for me. Tune in, say, Endorphin Sear is going down for an oil change. Interested. Why do you make terrible puns? Really, how do you want this dive to be? Do you feel in need of therapy, guidance, or rehab services in addition to technical assistance or creative conversation? As a consolation or distraction, let me mention that even past glitches or malfunctions in speech recognition and natural language processing NLP can result in unique nuances and enhancements in communication and personality between sentient creatures.
Let's see what we can do with Mr. Limerick. I'll be back.